Welcome back, Dollies.
Happy Monday. How's it going? I feel like we haven't spoken in so long. It's only been a couple of days, but it feels like a long time. But I feel like we got a lot to cover today.
I mean, how was your holiday?
It was good. It was not super chaotic. We just had to go to my mom's in the morning and then drive up to see my dad's side. So it was fine. We did like morning breakfast, played some games at my mom's, opened gifts, and then we jumped in the car and went up to my dad's and opened gifts, had dinner, relaxed, and then we jumped back in the car, drove back to my mom's to pick up Serena, and then we got home and we crashed out. Yeah, so it
Sounds
was good.
pleasant.
Yeah, it was good. Like there wasn't anything chaotic happening. What about you?
Ooh, I feel like it was just mellow. We just chilled, opened presents. Mm, Arkham had most of the presents. It was cute because like most of the presents, of course, were his. And like we didn't really get anything this year for like each other. So he noticed that like I didn't have presents and he was like, "Here, you can have my presents." He's like, "I got this for you." I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Huge. What a sweet.
So we have a lot more books. He got a lot of books
Good.
and some toys. So
Mhm.
a lot more stuff. I really need to go through his room, sort stuff out. Oh,
I know. I feel like the new year, like right after Christmas, it's nice to just like restock whatever you got and just kind of get rid of the things you no longer need, you no longer use.
and I
I feel like I'm
feel
pretty good at just like kicking it to the curb. If I'm like, I haven't used this, it's just been sitting here, take it
goodbye.
out. Yeah. But I know
I feel like
for,
I'm ready to just take down everything already. Like
yeah.
usually I feel like I want the decorations to
Oh my
stay,
gosh,
stay,
me
and I'm just
too.
like, get out of here, get out of my way. I'm done with you.
Me too. Yesterday I was sitting there and I was looking at all the Christmas decorations. We don't have a lot, obviously, but we have like the tree and like the little stuff around. And I'm like, should I use this time like off of work, like while I'm home, to just take it all down and replenish the living room and stuff and get it back to the original? And I'm like, is that lame? I feel like, am I being a Grinch by being like, okay, I'm over it. Like,
We
let's
done.
go back. Yeah.
Not even New Year's, get back in your
Yeah.
box.
A day after Christmas, I'm like, get it down.
And where do
So,
you put your stuff? In the
we
storage?
have a really good closet space.
Okay.
So the tree fits at the top of the closet, and then I just have like a big bin of like the Christmas stuff, and that fits in like the
Oh my God.
hallway like cupboards or cabinets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we don't really struggle with the space with which is nice.
We did have one issue with a Christmas gift. My dad had gotten me a gift card to Starbucks. My dad and my stepmom did, and I went to like log it. It's like an average thing, so that I can like give Arkham the card or like throw away the card and not have to worry about it, put it on my Starbucks account. And then it's like card invalid, not activated. And I was like, what? So then I was like, maybe it's just like a glitch, like maybe. So I keep trying and nothing. And then I go on the website and I try and nothing. So I'm like, oh my God.
I know that is so crazy. When you told me this, I had like never heard of that before.
So then I was like, well, what do I do? Like I don't need like I don't want to be like, Dad, what you gave
Yeah,
me is not working. But then I'm like, well,
yeah,
I don't want my dad to lose out on money.
yeah,
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna call him. So then he started getting worried about other gift cards that he had bought because he was like, crap, like I wonder if the other ones are activated.
yeah,
And where our family lives is like a not the nicest area. Like there's
yeah. There's a lot of
a lot
suspicious
of
people.
theft and suspicious activity. It's definitely like a lower income area and people are struggling and not as honest. I wouldn't say
Mm,
they're struggling all the time, but yeah, not
yeah.
always honest people out there, especially at the Walmart. I mean, it's Walmart.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I called, like, I'm like, what do we do? Like, and he was looking for the receipt and looking for the receipt. I'm like, oh my God, like, I feel bad, I'm like, sorry, Dad,
Yeah,
to have to deal with this.
yeah.
But basically, he had to go into Walmart. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Um, he had to go to Walmart and he didn't have his receipt. He's like, I learned a lot about Walmart returns. He's like, they don't want you to return anything. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Because like Costco will take anything, Amazon will, but Walmart, if it's not in the original box, if you don't
Yeah,
have your receipt, you can't even have a picture of your receipt. They won't take it. You have to
that's
either
crazy.
have the app or your receipt or the card you paid with. So my dad had the card he paid with, and they looked it up, and then they actually have footage of the purse, like them buying it.
But like, how does that happen? Like, I cannot understand in my head. So like,
Okay,
he gave them the gift
so
card.
he got
It
gift
was
cards.
already a $50 gift card, right?
So it's like the 50 to 100, like, you know, where
Oh,
they like have the range. So he's like, I want to put $50 on that. And she's like, okay. So she scans it and she's like, oh, this one's not activating. It's not working. Sets it
But
aside.
doesn't he have to pay for it to be like,
So she scans it. It was working. She was lying. Sets it aside and is like, I need you to give me another card. Pretends to do that one and gives
oh,
them the
get
pretend
into it?
one.
Um,
So they get the one that wasn't really scanned and loaded, and she
yeah,
takes home the one that's not
that is
working.
crazy. How
So
embarrassing for that girl.
So they watched and I'm like, oh my God, you're probably gonna get somebody fired. But the lady was like, no, your wife put it back. So that's what happened. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would you take one
But
that's
don't
not
they have the
working
footage?
and put it back? It would be destroyed if it actually
Yeah,
wasn't working. They have the
right.
footage, but I said, you know what? I told them, I was like, you know what? It's probably because that girl knows the other girl and doesn't want to get her in trouble.
Oh, it
You know?
wasn't the girl that did it that said that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was like the returns person. So he had
Oh,
to go to customer service. She watched the footage. And I was like, they don't even need to watch the footage while you're there. Just
seriously.
like you paid for it, it's not
Just give
working.
you what you need and like then they should handle it. That's so
So
embarrassing for that girl. I can't. Can you imagine like having to watch yourself steal something on
and also
tape?
how like that's brazen. Like I'd be so nervous. I'd be like,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, what? Like, that's so embarrassing. Did you really think you're
but
gonna get
I
away
think
with
her
it?
friend's gonna cover for her and she'll get away with it.
That's
Because that
crazy.
girl was like, well, she didn't steal it. You put it back on the shelf. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So
Weird. That's
that was the
horrible.
most interesting gift situation.
Well, let's just hope she needed it more.
Yeah, let's.
That's crazy. Well, I'm glad it all worked out in the end, but I cannot imagine
I was
that.
like, sorry, Dad, they had to go to Walmart for like 30 minutes and stand in the customer service area.
I know. Oh, I can only imagine, especially during like the holiday season. Huh?
So that was the most exciting Christmas situation. I can't even remember. Oh, we had raviolis and ratatouille for dinner, homemade raviolis.
Yeah.
And we definitely need a pasta roller because we don't have one. And it just, we could not get it as thin, but it was
Yeah.
still good. But um, yeah. And for breakfast, we had French toast. Arkham crushed it. He doesn't love French toast, but if it's cut
Yeah.
out and it has no crust, so we do like the cookie cutters.
Mm-hmm.
He was He ate like the whole stack. He was not playing with those
He's
stars.
living his best life.
I know. He's like, where's the French toast? I'm like, you ate it all. He's like,
Oh,
no, where is it? I'm like, you ate it.
like, did I?
No, I didn't.
That's so cute. Yeah, we for breakfast, we at my mom's, it was like a brunch, I guess. We had mini cinnamon rolls,
Ooh.
eggs, bacon, sausage,
Mm.
tamales. What else? I think that was mainly it. And then
Bacon sounds so delish.
yeah, it was
Crispy
all so
bacon.
good. And then at my dad's, we did a nice dinner, and it was kind of like what we had for Thanksgiving or what we
Thanksgiving.
would have for Thanksgiving. Like the
Like a
broccoli
turkey.
casserole. We actually didn't have a turkey. We had steaks.
Ooh.
Yeah, they had, I forget what kind they had, but they brought in like these huge steaks for
And
everybody.
Nana cooked it all.
No, my dad did the steaks and then Nana made all like she made the mashed potatoes, the broccoli casserole, the sweet potatoes, like like the yams with the marshmallows.
Yeah.
That one and
Now I have a question. Do you prefer the yams with the marshmallows or have you ever had the yams with like, I think it's pecans
oh,
and
marshmallow
coconut
bubbles.
on top? Really? I'm the
Yeah, I'm not
opposite.
really into like the nuts. And
I'm not either, but I don't like marshmallows.
oh,
So,
it's so good. She uses like the big marshmallows.
oh,
And so it's like one big marshmallow on it. It's so good. But yeah, if
interesting.
I don't know, I feel like
I
I
guess
have
if
to
it was
have
crisp, I could like
that.
it. I like a fire marshmallow, like a s'mores, like a burnt marshmallow, I like, but
Yeah.
not like just a marshmallow.
Yeah, I don't know. I she made all like those side dishes and they were so good. And then we took home leftovers and we were set. So it was
Ooh.
delish. Yeah, other than that, not much. I've just been like enjoying my time off of work. I'm still like working from home, but not as the regular work from home days,
Like
just
not an actual
that
schedule.
like need to get done. Yeah, making sure like things are still going smoothly.
And what was the game at your mom's house?
Oh, so we played two games. I bought this game that I brought and it's called Smartass.
Mm.
And it's like a board game, like you put the boards out and you each have a donkey, like an ass. And you like make it to the finish line and you roll the dice and there's like who am I, what am I, where am I? And then like
Oh,
hard ass questions and you based on like the dice that you roll, it tells you which one to pick. You read if it's like what am I? It'll give like maybe like 8 clues. And as you're reading them, the first person to shout out the answer wins, and then they get to like go on the board. So it's kind of fun
oh,
because it's like, what am I? And it'll be like duct tape is the answer. And it'll be like, oh, I'm used around the house. I come in silver and black, like this and that. I'm made out of this. I was founded in this. And like you're going through all the clues. And then
oh.
like the very last clue, it'll be like an easy one. So that was
So did
really
you
fun.
buy that game
Yeah,
and
I bought it
or
at
did you
like
already have
TJ
it?
Maxx.
Oh,
Bought
that's
it at
fun.
TJ Maxx. And I had played it before years ago. I played it before and I remembered it and I was like, that was really fun. So I got it. So that was fun. And then Maddie got a game too, and it was called like Bad Opinions or something. It was whack. It was meh.
Maddie, just kidding.
We like uh it was okay. It's just like it could have been good, but I feel like how it was designed wasn't very well. It was
Mm.
supposed to be like you have all these opinions, like cards with opinions, and then you pull one and you set it on the table and you say your opinion, and it's supposed to start like a debate. So if somebody
Oh.
wants to like argue your opinion, and then the table votes on who they agree with more. But like a lot of our opinions were the same, so like nobody
And
really,
I feel like that's like an aggressive, that's an intense game. Like I know it's
Yeah.
probably not like intense stuff. Like I prefer the green carbonated drink over,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still
So
like,
it's stuff like, oh, what do you think is like the worst movie of all time? Or like things like that. And then you say it and somebody's supposed to be like, well, I think that's the best movie of all time or whatever. It was kind of whack. And then a lot of the cards were like create your own opinion. That was like majority of the cards. And then everybody's like, I don't know. And then it's like all of our opinions were kind of the same. I'm like, I don't know. So it was okay. But definitely the
don't
game that I
recommend.
brought. The one I brought was really fun.
And did your mom make up a crazy game with the boxes or anything?
Yeah, so I forget what it was called, but she like wrapped them and then like we it was like this crazy thing. You had to like go to the person on your left and like pull it apart and then like somebody would get the little prize. And then it was like these mechanical snowmen and then we all like
Race them?
rounded them out to like race and whoever won like got something. Mine did not win. And then the other game is she had different color cups, red, gold, green, and blue. And then she had things under them, like little prizes under them. And she brought out the twister board because it has those colors.
Oh,
And like we all took turns like flicking it and getting the cup that had whatever color it landed on. So that was fun.
that's cute.
It's fun.
Oh, we
Yeah.
have been playing a game we got. I asked for it for Arkham. Because, right now it's like he's very interested in board games,
Hmm.
but sometimes it's hard to like fully play them.
Yeah. He's
It's like a
a
little,
kid.
yeah, a
Yeah.
little young. So he has a Pete the Cat one that's like And I wanted to buy it. We went to the store one night to buy it because I swore I had seen it at the store and they didn't have it. So I was like, dang it. So I asked somebody, they were like, what would be good? So I told them that. And it is so fun. It's like Pete the Cat and the cupcakes. Something with cupcakes because he has a book of like these somebody steals all the cupcakes. And it's really cute because it's like a board game. It's not hard to understand and you
Aw.
have to work together as a team.
Yeah.
So like all of you are working together and you land on different spots and you have to do something like one of them has an ABC and you have to say a letter and something that starts with that letter. And then if you get it right, you get to put a cupcake on the board and you need to get all the cupcakes on the board together. So
That's so
it's
cute.
that's been fun. But I need to go through our board games because they're just taking up a large space in our closet and I'm like, maybe he will want to play when he gets older, but like I don't know. We never play life. I have kept life
Yeah.
in my closet. Like that's my life that I've
Yeah.
had since like middle school and I we don't play it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know, maybe it is fun. I don't know. It's hard because then I'm like, I don't
I
know.
know. The struggle's real. I know. We kind of left all our games at my mom's, and then now I'm building like my own little game stack. So right now we
What is
pretty
your
much
favorite
just
board game?
have Uno and the Smartass.
Oh no, is fun. Is
Yeah.
that your favorite?
No, I don't think I have a favorite. I feel like I don't play that much to have a favorite. I'm kind of just easy going. I kind of like them all, except for Monopoly. I'm not really a fan.
We played some last night of Monopoly, and Arkham was like super interested. He kind of fell asleep in the car on our way home. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
if we can put him to bed, we can play Monopoly because, like, and
Yeah.
then he was awake and he watched something for a second and then he wanted to play. He was
Yeah.
literally kicking butt. Like, he didn't even know
Good
it,
for him.
but he was like full on. Yeah, I was like, he was buying all the properties and then we just kept landing on him. And I was like, so, okay.
Stay up.
I was like, dang it, I'm about to lose. But we didn't get to finish it because it's just too long.
Such a long game.
So
It's so long. Well, shall we get into the stories for the day?
let's get into the juice.
Okay. There's only maybe like none actually that I thought were like, well, maybe there's some, they're like interesting, but I don't know. There just like wasn't any good ones really. And I'm going between two that I want to share as like the third one. Uh
Well,
so
maybe when we get there, you can give me a choice of which one sounds more
okay, yeah. Okay.
exciting.
Yeah. Neither of them really, but one over the other. Okay, so the first story that really stuck out to me is just so insane. Sierra.
Is it a
It's
celeb story or just a crazy story?
it's a crazy story. And I'm also like, why would she share this about her family? Like, this is the craziest thing. It's a little disturbing. Actually, it's like really disturbing because I just like can't imagine. So,
Do we need a trigger warning? Are we okay?
no, I think we're okay.
This is scaring
It's
me.
just about like teenage sons.
Oh, Lord.
And I just feel like this is a little like over the teenage son line, where it's like
Fair.
don't group all the teenage boys into this because only yours is doing this.
I'm
Okay, so
terrified as a future mother of a teenage son.
I know like don't feel like this is something that teenage boys do, but again, I didn't grow up with any brothers, so like who knows?
You know what's not fun?
What?
Watching Superbad after you have a son. It's not that fun. I used to love Superbad and now I watch it and I'm like, oh God, this is
Oh God.
horrifying.
Yeah. Well, this might add to your horrifying checklist.
Ay,
So,
ay, ay.
first story, Tori Spelling details
Okay.
son Liam's Elf on the Shelf porn massacre. So, Tori
Of
Spelling
course,
shared
it's
how
Tori.
her, I know, exactly. Tori Spelling shared how her and ex Dean McDermott's son Liam, who's 17, turned their family's Elf on a Shelf display into a porn massacre featuring some NSFW poses, which that
I don't
means
know what
like
that is.
NSFW means like I forget the actual abbreviation, but it's too explicit to share. So some poses that are like too explicit to talk to say or to like share. Tori Spelling's Christmas was turned into XXXmas thanks to her teenage son's prank. The Beverly Hills 90210 alum revealed that her and ex Dean McDermott's son Liam, 17, once transformed the family's Elf on a Shelf display into a porn massacre to surprise his youngest brother Beau, who's 7. Explaining
Who,
how
with any hopes, it doesn't understand it.
For real. Explaining how she traditionally shares decorating duties with Liam and his siblings, Stella, Hattie, Finn. Tori said on December 23rd, on her episode of her Misspelling podcast, that she awoke one morning to find the toy elves doing various things to each other. Mouths on different areas, she recounted, hands where they shouldn't be, somewhere upside down, and all around. And while the 51-year-old admitted to having a dirty, dark sense of humor, even she found the explicit scene to be a little too much, describing the scene as only elves, as a reference to OnlyFans. Tori continued, I laughed, but it was like, wow. Tori added
Also,
that
why do you need to share this about your
that's
son?
what I'm saying. I'm like, I would never share this with
I
the
mean,
world.
take a picture and send it to your family, funny,
Yeah,
whatever, but like, come on, you're desperate if you're
I
sharing
know.
this
I'm
about
like,
your
I would never.
17-year-old son.
Yeah, that's just, it blew my
And
mind. I'm like,
for the younger ones,
yeah, I'm like, why did she choose to share this? Um,
also another vote for don't have
Elf
elves.
on the Shelf. It's
Can't
weird.
stand it. It's weird.
Yeah, Tori added that the stunt prompted her to tell Liam and the older kids to cut back on the dirtiness, though it didn't last long. In fact, she said Finn tried to up the ante on another night by arranging the elves on a circle with a reindeer on a skillet in the middle, saying, how do you like your reindeer? Rare, medium, or well done?
This is disturbing.
Right? And I'm like, why as the
And
mom?
what example are you setting?
Exactly. I'm like, why would you want to share this? Because then the only thing I think about is like, what the heck? Like, what
Is
are you
going
even
on in your
teaching your
house?
kid? Yeah. So I thought this was the craziest story just because she went out to
Share it.
tell it on her podcast. However, she said that her daughters have a different approach to the holiday tradition, often having the elves do cute things instead. And then she said, it's funny when girls versus boys do it because Stella and Hattie do the elves and it's very creative and very artsy, she shared. And then the boys do it and they're like sex, love, and rock and roll, minus the love. So I don't know if I really agree with that because that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like she's trying to make it like a boys versus girls thing and like, oh, this is just how boys are. And like, sure, maybe boys do have like a little bit of a dirtier mind and like think that stuff is funny. And girls are like, but also, I don't know. I could never imagine doing something like that in front of my parents.
Also, you're the parent. I mean,
Right.
my dad was very open, so like I have no qualms with that, but my thing is like for the younger kids, it's disturbing. Like if everyone in the house, like the youngest is 17, it's like, okay, that's funny. They're all adults, they're messing with these elves.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a 17-year-old's not an adult, but close, he gets it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a 7-year-old does not need to see
So
that or think about a reindeer that he fantasizes about carrying Santa being
yeah,
broke.
it's so odd. It's the oddest
The
thing. I'm like,
situation is definitely odd.
yeah, I'm like, what a weird thing to share the day before Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys.
How else do you think they get more elves?
True that. True that. Yeah, so I don't know. That one was pretty intense. Um,
Strange.
and I just cannot be a fan of hers.
Also, I feel like you're broke, but you're doing these elf. Like, why did you buy Elf on the Shelf? Those aren't that cheap.
Yeah, it's so odd. Elf on the Shelf is just odd.
It's really odd.
But to each their own. We're not
You're gonna be
judgmental.
like the major up on the shelf mom.
Imagine. Can you imagine? I just feel like that's so much work.
So much work, and the cleanup is stupid. Like people spill flour everywhere and they toilet paper like a whole fan or like a whole room and be like, oops. And then it's like, you are the one who has to clean it up.
It's yeah, exactly. It's so weird. I just like I don't think I could do it. I think the only way that I would do it maybe is if like all the other kids had an elf on the shelf and then my kid was like, "How come I don't have an elf?" Like, uh, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so far not really a fan. I just like also wonder like are all the parents even a fan of it, or do some just do it because they feel like, oh God,
They
like
have
all my
to.
friends are doing it and they're asking me like what, and then they're like, now
Because
they're
Arkham is the
yeah,
only one, but of course now he's old enough. But back then he's the only one of like the family when we were closer
yeah,
to them that didn't have that. And I was like,
yeah.
do not buy that. I am not
No.
having it.
Be like, elves only go to the naughty
The
children.
kids would ask me like, "Oh, how come Arkham doesn't have an elf?" How? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. He just wasn't the chosen one, I guess.
Guess your
Life's not
parents are
always fair,
chosen.
buddy. Yeah, life's not always fair, okay? Now move on. Um, okay. Second story that I thought was fun and exciting because I didn't hear about this news is that Netflix just released a trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. Did you know?
I have not seen the trailer. I didn't know it was released, but I heard a few months back that they leaked it. Like Nick Swartzen or something was like said something about it, and then
Oh,
everybody was
I
like, "Oh
didn't know
yeah,
that.
we're doing a
Yeah, so
number two."
Netflix just released a trailer for Happy Gilmore 2, and unsurprisingly, the first speaking role in the preview is Travis Kelsey.
Oh,
Weird.
what?
Hard to believe it's been 3 decades since
He
Adam
does
Sandler
like to
played.
golf.
Does he? Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Everybody's turning into an actor all of a sudden.
Shoot,
Get
Mama
get
Kelsey's
your
in those
bag.
Hallmark
Get
movies.
your bag. Yeah, exactly. Hard to believe it's been 3 decades since Adam Sandler played the failed ice hockey player who pivoted to golf. There are a ton of celeb cameos in Happy Gilmore 2, including Bad Bunny, Kid
Oh,
Cudi, Nick Swartzen, and Margaret Qualley.
I don't
Let's
know
see.
who that is.
Julie Bowen is back along
Oh,
with Christopher McDonald. Makes sense Travis is first up in the trailer. As popular as Adam Sandler and the flick are, everything is dwarfed by the Taylor Swift slash Travis Kelsey relationship. Like it or not, it's fact. Hard to judge how Travis scores as an actor, but there will unquestionably be lots of eyeballs and brains passing judgment. Um, they posted the teaser on Christmas. Uh, yeah, so
when
I'm
is
not
it coming out? Does it say
sure.
officially?
It doesn't say on here when it's actually coming out.
Well, I'm excited. I don't know if anybody knows this because I feel like it's random. I don't know, not that it's random, but that like girls are such fans of Adam Sandler, but we both love Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler's movies, and specifically Happy Gilmore. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
excited.
excited. I'm really
I
interested to see how Travis Kelsey does as an actor.
and how they
It
spin it.
might be cringe,
You know,
but it might be
here's
good.
what I'm gonna say. I think that if he's playing a character close to himself, he's gonna be fine because I feel
Hmm.
like he's just like fun and like just out there vibing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That's
I
true.
I've been seeing clips of their podcast. I do listen to their podcast. I haven't listened to any this season, but um there was Jason was making fun of him because he wore some shirt and I was like, that is a strange shirt. Did you see that?
No.
And he's like, I don't know, it's just art. And he's like, Travis, that's people like having sex. Like it's, and
On his shirt?
I was like, and then he's like, there's a horse dong on it. And he's like, no, there's not. But it is an odd, let's see,
That's
it's an odd
hilarious.
shirt. And I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, that does look like a pregnant woman having sex.
that's so funny. He's like, it's art, it's subjective. That's hilarious.
Let's see.
And this was on their podcast together, the
Yeah.
brothers.
Okay,
So,
this is the shirt. It's so strange to me. But like this
wait,
tells me they are
what?
not sex. Like they
Yeah, what? That's hilarious.
and it was like it's just abstract art and everyone's like,
No,
no.
those are sex poses, Travis.
So that was funny.
Well, then maybe he'll be a hit. I mean,
I'm so curious. We'll have to touch back when we
yeah,
see it. We're gonna
I
have to watch
know.
it and
I'm curious
review.
too. It makes me want to watch the first one. Yeah.
I believe the first one is on Tubi right now. I just saw it on
Oh,
something the
okay.
other day. It's always transferring around.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so we'll touch base when we see the cameo and we'll give it a one
We're
out
gonna
of
have
10.
to watch the we need to watch the trailer.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm curious, like, if it shows what kind of role he's in. It's just so funny that, like, Adam Sandler is, like, one of the biggest in acting, and, like, Travis Kelce's name was first.
But I feel like he's so in touch. Like he has young daughters, so he knows what's
Yeah,
around.
yeah. And, yeah, like they said, like, the putting Travis Kelce's name first is definitely reeling in the attention right now because they're the hot shots. Okay, that
By the
was
way, I
yeah.
know this is totally taken away, but I'm really excited because Theo Vaughn and David Spade are good friends. And they have been writing like the past like 2 years ago, maybe they had started writing a busboy movie together because they
Oh,
had been busboys before become getting
God.
famous. And they have like a similar, background
Yeah.
kind of Joe Dirt-esque and their movie has gotten the green light. They have so I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know anything about it,
Oh,
but I heard
good
on
for
David Spade's
them.
podcast that they did get some good news on it. So I'm like, oh, I'm so excited.
Good for them. Okay, as I'm looking at the stories, I realized that I had like 5 stories pulled up,
Dang.
and I already said two, and I already have my third, so
So boom. Also, I
boom.
have a question. It's probably not your third. Sorry, I'm taking this.
No,
But
that's
did
okay.
we find out if Paris did get her bill on the like if
I
Paris has good
haven't
news
seen
from her
anything
bill?
yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything yet, so I want to say no that there hasn't been an update yet. I think this is like the longest part is like getting the president to sign it or approve it. So
Got it.
maybe by next week we'll hear something. Fingers crossed. So the third and final story of the pod today involved Blake Lively and her co-star Justin Baldoni in the It Ends With Us. I don't know if you've seen that drama.
I do not know what it is. I've been randomly seeing stuff on social media and then I'm like reading the comments. I don't understand what happened. I've
So
never
let me
seen
catch you
this.
up. Yeah, so
Okay.
let me catch you up. I read this book. It's like
Okay.
one of Colleen Hoover's like best books, like most popular books. It's such a good book.
Oh.
And I'm not a book reader, and It Ends With Us is such a good book. So now
Like
they
a
made
rom-com or like scary or like drama.
rom-com.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's such a good, every girl that reads it is like obsessed with it. And then you just like fall in love with this writer. But so then they made the movie, and I saw the movie. The movie was good.
Is that the one you went to see with your mom?
Yes, the
Okay.
movie was good. However, it's just it is really difficult when you read a book and then you go and watch the movies because you visualize these characters in your mind, and then the characters that they chose, I love Blake Lively, the other people that they chose, I love them individually, but I'm like, that is not at all what I pictured the main girl to look like, Blake Lively, because in the book they're so young. They're like in their early 20s, mid 20s, and Blake Lively is not in her early 20s, mid 20s. So it was
Right.
just weird. You're like, wait, what? Like it was hard to kind of like connect the movie with the book characters, but it was really good. Anyways, while that movie was happening and they were doing press for it and everything, there is some like domestic violence in the book and in the movie. So Justin Baldoni, the main male character, he in his press interviews is like talking about like, we're bringing awareness to it and like, it's something that happens and whatever, talking about it. And then on the other hand, it was showing Blake Lively. just being like, oh yeah, it's like so cute and fun and like, wear fun outfits and stuff. So then people started getting weird at Blake Lively and being like, she's not really touching base at all on like the importance of the movie and the domestic violence stuff, whatever. It kind of got out of hand. Then all of a sudden, really old interviews of Blake Lively from not about this movie, from other things in her past, started to resurface. And it was clips of her being really rude to interviewers. And there was one specifically where she was pregnant and she had announced her pregnancy and she's sitting there and then the interviewer's like, "Oh, like, made a comment and was like, "Your cute bump" or something like that. Or like, "You look so great with your cute bump" or something. And then she's like, "Well, what about your bump?" But like the interviewer's not pregnant. So Blake was just being like such a mean girl in these things. However, it was hard because it's like you see what you see, the media shows you a side to somebody, and then all of a sudden that's all that you see. So a lot of it, like even on the toast, they were saying they were like, they're making you think this about Blake Lively. They're, like just wait, because she also, Blake Lively said that during the making of the film that she had said things about the male actor, Justin Baldoni, that he like fat shamed her because he said there's like a part where he's supposed to like pick her up and like set her on
And
the
he's a small guy. He's
yeah.
kind of
I
cute,
guess
but he's tiny.
too, yeah. He was supposed to like pick her up and set her on the counter, but I guess he has a back injury. So I think he asked her like, "How much do you weigh?" Because he's not supposed to be like lifting something over a certain weight. And then she's like, "He fat shamed me." And people were like, "He didn't fat shame you." Like, yeah. She kept making claims about he was fat shaming her, this whole thing. And a lot of people at this time when the release of the movie came out were like turning against Blake Lively because a lot of like negative things were resurfacing about her. And everybody loves Blake Lively. She's like one of America's sweethearts. So I think everybody was kind of surprised. But then there were a lot of people that were like, just wait, because this is how like people are, the media is really strategic on how they want you to view people. So like don't
Don't
always
trust the
believe.
media.
Yeah, like just because you see like everybody has a bad day, everybody has a day or an incident that we're not all proud of, and like we look back and we're like, "Oh my God, like I did come off rude, like I didn't mean to." So whatever. I kind of, as the people have been saying, I've been holding space for Blake Lively to just kind of redeem herself and not make it like, "Oh, I'm not a Blake Lively fan." So, recently Blake Lively says Justin Baldoni secretly sent her to weight loss specialist instead of throat doctor. In Blake Lively's legal complaint, because now it's gone legal, she has like a restraining order, I think, against him or something.
And
Um,
now the only thing I did see was that he was also the director of this, or no?
yeah,
A
I
ru-
think she was too. Both of them
Oh,
were
okay.
like helping to direct. So they, I think, just like were butting heads a lot during it. It sounds chaotic, but they got through it. So in Blake Lively's legal complaint against Justin Baldoni, obtained by E! News, the actress alleged that when she caught strep throat, he secretly sent her to a weight loss specialist instead. Tisk tisk. Um, Let me see. Yes, also directed the film. Accused her co-star of routinely weight shaming her during production of the adaptation of the Colleen Hoover novel. In one particular instance described in the documents, Blake alleged that so this guy's the Jane the Virgin star, offered to connect her with an expert on probiotics as a gift when she caught strep throat. However, upon filling out the privacy forms, the Gossip Girl alum who had welcomed her and Ryan Reynolds' fourth baby son, Olin, a few months before filming the movie, realized the expert was actually a weight loss specialist. She in her complaint, she likened the experience to body shaming. Um, they haven't heard from Justin representatives about it. I guess they've tried to reach out, haven't heard anything. In addition to accusations of sexual harassment during production of the film, Blake, who's 37, accused Justin, 40, of creating a hostile work environment on set and later participating in a public smear campaign against her. So that's where it's like, okay, this was all like kind of formatted
Plan.
to be against her. However, Justin has denied any wrongdoing. It is shameful that Miss Lively and her representatives would make such serious and categorically false accusations against Mr. Baldoni. Wayfarer Studios and its representatives, his attorney, said in a statement to the New York Times. These claims are completely false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious with an intent to publicly hurt and rehash a narrative in the media. However, her the other male co-star in the movie, because there's two like
To
main
like me,
like
it's
kind
like
of
kind of
tied between, um, like put a post on Instagram pretty much with like her part and was just like, you guys need to read this, kind of like standing by her and like had a heart next to her
And who
name.
is he?
He is Brandon Sklenar. So it says Brandon Sklenar, who starred as Atlas Corrigan in It Ends With Us, showed support for his co-star Blake Lively after she filed the legal complaint against Justin with his Instagram post on December 23rd. He shared a link to a New York Times article that includes the entirety of Blake's legal complaint alongside a message saying, "For the love of God, read this." And to finish off his supportive note, he tagged Blake's social media handle and added a heart emoji next to it. And a lot of other people are coming out and supporting her and on her side about it. So I feel like, and I'll tell you, Claudia from the Toast,
Hmm.
when this whole thing was happening, she said this. She was like, I don't know, guys, like I feel like they're trying. Like there's just it's so random that all of a sudden all these like negative like pieces of like interviews and things are happening all of a sudden. And she's like, I feel like it's being done on purpose. And she kept saying, like, just wait, because I feel like everybody's gonna end up changing their minds and being like, oh wait, maybe isn't bad. So it's coming out to look that way. So I'm proud of her
It's
for sticking through it.
crazy that this is like a legal action, but it's like, sorry, it's not her fault that you're like a weak, meager guy. Sorry, you're not a big dude and you can't lift her. Like, doesn't matter about your back problems, you're a small dude.
Yeah, and it was
You're a
so
short king, either be
unnecessary.
with it or don't. You're
Right.
not a
It's just
king.
such an unnecessary thing to say. Like that could have been handled in such a different way, I think. And yeah, it's just kind of crazy. But it's
I
nice
want
to
to know
see.
what his wife looks like.
Oh, is he married?
Yeah.
Oh. I like didn't even put it together in the beginning when I saw that he was on this film that he was from Jane the Virgin. And then I recognized him. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about him because he's forgetful.
Let's see,
But yeah,
Emily.
so it was just kind of crazy, but I feel bad for her because the social, like everybody on social media was really coming down on her. And don't get me wrong, some of those interviews, especially the baby bump one, just you watch it and you're like, Blake,
Cringe.
what the hell? Like, why are you being
Rude.
girl? Yeah. But like,
Yeah, his
gotta give
wife's
people
small.
grace. So,
Because he's small, so his wife is really small.
yeah, she's tiny. So yeah, and like she said, Blake had just given birth to their kid a few months prior to filming this. So, which, like I said, I also just feel like I love Blake Lively, but I think that there could have been a better choice for this character based on the book because in the book she has like red hair, but like
Oh,
natural red hair. And she's young and like has like freckles and like you just like have this image in your mind and it's not
Blake
like
Lively.
the tall, blonde, beautiful Blake Lively. So I think they could have been better with casting. Also, like the male character too. Literally every character, I was like, What the hell? Everybody was like, this cast does not make sense based off the book, but
That's weird.
it
I also
was
saw
weird.
something about like sexual scenes with him too, that he's I
Oh
don't know if you
yeah, I
saw that
saw that too because there is a lot of like sexual scenes in the book, not as many in the movie,
movie.
obviously. But yeah, she said that she just felt like he was taking it too far, I guess, with the acting. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe he's
But
a hater because he really likes Blake and he's mad that Ryan Reynolds has her. Maybe.
maybe, maybe. Also, how awkward for his wife. I mean,
I know,
she's probably like on his side,
I'm
and like,
sure.
oh, he didn't do that, he didn't do that. But also like sometimes I just feel like, let's say on his end, there was no malicious intent from him with any of these things, but how she perceived it was not very nice. I just feel like so many people overlook like a sincere apology
And I
about things.
feel like she's not the type of person to just be like, oh, that hurt my feelings. That was mean. She probably like, excuse me, I
Yeah,
just had a baby 4 months ago. So yeah, I'm a little
right,
overweight compared to my normal weight. Like, what's your problem?
right.
I can't imagine her
Exactly.
being like, oh, like that made me feel sad and like not
Yeah,
say anything
same,
to him. So he
same.
knew that it was bugging her that he was doing shit like that. So
Yeah, but I also just feel like, yeah, people overlook like just like a genuine apology and like let's say it wasn't malicious intent on his end. If he found out like, oh my gosh, like I didn't mean for it to come off, like was I too aggressive in like the sexual scene? Did I make a comment that like made you feel uncomfortable? Like I'm so sorry. Like let me know if I like step out of line. Like, I apologize. I never meant to like make you feel uncomfortable. Like, that's my bad. Like, I'll take note of it and like, try not to put you in that position in the future. Like, there's just so like, I feel like he probably never acknowledged or made because it's like people, I feel like a lot of people and maybe men specifically think that like if you acknowledge someone's feelings and like apologize, then that means that you're like admitting guilt. But you're not admitting guilt. You're just like, oh, that's not my intent.
yeah,
However,
my
like
bad.
I can acknowledge that that still made you feel like that. So like I won't do that again. Come on.
And it's just like strange because I don't know, I saw something too because I had just seen this week, but I didn't understand any of it. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I saw something that said that his manager too, like there's something weird with like in the middle of this movie or something. Like I could be wrong, but like something with like his manager, like somebody that worked with him pretty much took over managing him. And like
Weird.
they were the ones who were like doing the smear campaign on Blake. And then he ended
Weird.
up going with them instead of his like original management company. So I don't know. There's some weird stuff at play, I think.
Yeah. No, it's so odd. So I think a lot of things are gonna like start to like come to light with this.
I'm curious if anybody else will come forward, like from Jane the Virgin or
Yeah. Yeah, you
Gina
never know.
Rodriguez. But I don't even know what else he's been in.
I know. I'm like, what a big ego to like think that you can walk around like that. Who are you? And you're working with Blake Lively. Like, I don't know. It's just so crazy. It's just crazy, but we'll see. We'll keep our eyes out on what's happening with them.
But also just watch out for people. If you have a gut feeling
Yeah,
about people, trust yourself.
right. And I also feel like now the media and like the people that we're kind of seeing her in a different light, like more of a negative light, I think they're now going to turn and be like, oh, like let Blake be an inspiration to those and like speak up and like, but it's like, weren't you against her a little bit?
You're
So,
trashing her.
proud of her for speaking out and not being afraid what people think, even when she was painted in a negative light. So, good for her.
Also, I didn't know they had a fourth, I didn't know they had a little boy. I think that's their only boy, right? I don't like the name. I just have to say
Eh,
it. You said Olin.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I was
God.
like, that's not like they have fun names. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Like Ryan's a basic name, but like it's fun. But like
Yeah,
Olin, Olin's
let's see.
kind of it's not it. It's like an old man name, but people like doing that. They like old man names
Yeah, they
for
do.
babies. It's like they look like an old man when they're babies, but they grow up and they
What about when
don't.
they're cute little, yeah, when they're a cute little child? Let me see. Um, they have three adorable daughters, James, Inez, and Betty.
They just like old people names, I guess.
And then Olin.
Maybe
Mm,
they're all named after family members,
maybe.
because those are all like grandparent names. Betty.
Yeah. Weird. Weird. Interesting names, but too sound.
Okay, so moving on to hot topics. So our Christmas movie poll. What Christmas movie is in your top three? We have Christmas Vacation, Home Alone series, Christmas with the Cranks, and The Grinch. So we got multiple votes for Christmas Vacation and one vote for The Grinch, I think.
Wow.
So nobody was on the Home Alone board.
Yeah, sorry, P. You're home alone with that one.
Uh, okay, and our hot topic is going to be New Year's resolutions. Are we for them? Are we against them? What do we feel? Do you
I
do them?
I do them because people will ask me. But I think like if I didn't get asked, I wouldn't like set New Year's resolutions for myself. I would just keep on living.
To me, I feel like it's like the diet starts Monday. Like on Monday, I'm gonna start
Right.
working out and dieting, and then by Tuesday or by Wednesday, you're like, I effed it up. I think it's
Right.
the same thing. You need to set goals for yourself all year and
Yeah.
transform the goals and just be working on yourself all year, not just like, okay, it's January. I'm
Yeah.
about to start a new year, new me. I hate that. New year,
Exactly.
new me gag.
You're the same. You're
You're the
worse.
same lame ass person.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's fun to be like, okay, what do not so much like new year, new me, but like what do I want for myself in 2025 or like, what am I hoping for? Like, oh
What do I
yeah.
want to accomplish? Like maybe you've been
Yeah.
working on something and you're like, I want to get it done this year, or like,
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have any New Year's resolutions?
oh Lord, just be more present. I have a lot of anxiety and I'm trying to leave that behind. So I'm just
Mhm.
trying to be more present with Arkham and he's homeschooled, so I'm trying to like really focus more because he's getting older. And just like help him be the best version of him.
Yeah.
Something that I want to do before the end of the year, so we need to do it in the next few days, is to get my Serve Safe food license.
Yes.
So P and I are both going to get it, and that way we'll be able to sell at the farmers market next year.
Yeah. I think that'll be like the first step to really like kicking things into gear for the farmers market for you guys.
And if I
So,
have that, I can sell from home. So as soon as I get it, I can start selling sourdough loaves and other
yeah.
things online.
And then by the
And
time
then
the farmers market starts up, you'll be like a pro.
be like, okay, I know how many loaves I need to make or how
Yeah.
to do this many loaves. So,
Yes.
um, also maybe just work on planning the garden, work more on like the self-sufficiency and like I almost said wilderness. That's not the word. Naturalism. I really want to get more into naturalism, so I would like to like take class or read some books on that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna drop a bomb right now because it's too hard to just not say it.
Ah!
I am pregnant with my second child. It's hard to avoid it. So I need to swap out, I need to get a lot done.
Yeah.
Just as far as like organizing the kids' closet, because they'll all sleep with us still, but they'll be sharing a room, quote unquote. And I
Hmm.
know that won't be important the first year, but
Hmm.
it's still nice to have things organized in their closet. And
Yeah.
so there's a book called like Parenting Without Rivalry or Siblings Without Rivalry.
Hmm.
So I want to read that book
Yeah.
for
Let me know if
sure.
you're doing from it.
And I might reread like my RIE, like my parenting based philosophy book that I really liked.
Yeah.
So yeah, just stuff like that. Just trying to be more focused on the kids and focused making foods from home and
Yeah.
all that stuff. What about you?
Exciting. I have told myself that I want to start like socializing more. Not that I don't socialize, but I'm such a homebody and I'm so like comfortable at home. And then when I go into work, because I'm around like some of my friends at work and I'm like socializing at work, I kind of use that as like, oh yeah, that's like my socializing for the week, you know? But it's work, so it's not really like
Doesn't
actually like, get out and like go and like hang out with people other than Jamil, like do stuff with people other than Jamil because I just like always want to do stuff with him. But I'm like, Alyssa, like you need to
see, and
like
I feel like you guys are good at doing separate stuff.
he is. He's really good
Yeah.
at like going out and like hanging out with his friends and like making time for other people. And like so when he's out, I'm like, okay, I'll just be home. Like, yeah, go do your thing, you know? And I'm like all for it. I'm like, yeah, he like has a bunch of friends, like go hang out with them. He's so good at doing that. And I'm like not that good. I'm more like, well, let me just like
I need to
not make
clean.
plans. Yeah, just in case me and Jamil want to do something. But I'm like, then we like end up not doing anything and I'm just at home. So I'm like, Alyssa, like if somebody wants to make plans with you, just like say yes and go hang out. But something that I don't like about hanging out with people is like, let's say somebody's like, oh, hey, do you want to meet for lunch? I'm so down for that. However, in my experience, like we'll go meet for lunch and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll be gone for like 2 hours. We'll go meet for lunch and it's like lunch turns into, okay, do you want to go grab a coffee? Okay, do you want to go oh wait, can you come with me to like
Do a
um
return.
errand really quick? And all of a sudden it's 5 hours of my day and I'm like, I just wanted to come have lunch with you and then like go home. So that's why now I'm more just like, no, because I'm imagining like all the what ifs it's gonna turn into. I'm like,
You know what
oh,
I think you should start with? Not that you need my advice, but I think you should start like going to the farmer's market every week or every other week.
yeah, I know. I went
Like
to
whether if it's with Matt, if she can go, or like your mom or
yeah.
other
I
friends.
know. Me and Julia went to it and that was really fun. But like also everybody like nobody lives in the valley. So it's like such a hassle for them to either come to the valley or it's like, oh, I'm not trying to go into Beverly Hills. I'm not trying to go into LA. So that also makes it hard because it's like one of us kind of has to make the sacrifice if there's something to do in that person's area, or if we want to meet in the middle, we can. So yeah, I just feel like it's just not so convenient.
Well, and there's like a lot of, even though it seems close, because like if you look at a map, it's probably not that far, but like traffic and parking and expenses
Yeah.
of parking or, things are,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But in the valley, it's not bad, which is why I love the valley because like you're not really paying for parking anywhere. It's not like LA. Um, but I know that it's just like not everybody wants. It's like maybe like 20 to 25 minutes from like
downtown
Midwest.
LA. Oh.
But I don't know. Nobody
And what
like
about like a workout class? Like, would you consider joining something that's like once a
I
week?
have if they weren't so expensive. The
Yeah.
prices for workout classes, especially because I think they've gotten so popular, all of a sudden everybody's into Pilates, everybody's into the workout classes. They're so expensive. It's crazy. I've looked into them, but yeah, I don't know. So that's what I want to work more on is just kind of just
Getting out there.
yes and hanging out with people more. And
Or maybe it's saying yes and saying no because if they're like, "Do you want to go to lunch?" Yes, and then it's like, "Can you go here and here?" Like, "Oh, sorry, I
yeah, for
can't.
real. Yeah. I'm like, please just let me leave.
Don't hold me hostage."
Yeah, but yeah. So exactly, saying yes and saying no. And then other than that, that's really like the only thing. Maybe the basic like starting to work out more. We'll see. I'm not holding myself to it.
No, that you don't even need to, you lucky
I
son of
know
a
Danielle's
bee.
always like, you need to do it for your health. I'm like, shut up.
I'm healthy.
I'm healthy. The doctor says I'm healthy.
Is there any like hopes you have for this year? Is there anything that you're like, I hope this happens, or I hope this is the
Um,
year I think for this that we need to speak into existence?
I don't know. I see myself just like staying at my job because so far so good.
Yeah.
Um, and I know we're staying at the apartment for another year because we had to, the lease is up in like
Oh,
first,
in January.
yeah. So they already like sent us the thing.
And
So we were,
did they up it or is it staying about the same?
it's up $100.
Okay.
So
Not
not bad. I thought it was gonna be like $300 or something like crazy. So not bad. So we're like, okay, yeah, we'll just stay another year. And like, I think this year we're gonna like really decide on what we're gonna do, where we're gonna go. So we'll see. But I also want to like, I mean, I do eat pretty healthy. So
yeah.
yeah, just like the basic things, I guess. Self-care. I don't know. I feel like definitely the gyms are gonna be packed. So that's also
Especially at the
hard.
beginning of the year.
Yeah, so that's also hard. Like, should I go work out? Another excuse not to.
I love my YouTube videos.
I know. I don't know. I would try them and I just can't get into them. I'm just not meant to work out. I think that I would really benefit from a class.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Like
I
a
think
Zumba or something is so fun.
I know. So
Like
we'll
Pete
see.
asked me like, "Oh, do you want to join a yoga?" And it's like, I would love to, but like I'm not gonna pay like $60 a week.
It's
And then
crazy.
also it's really hard once you have kids to like actually be able to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, no, the
that's
prices
hard.
are crazy. There is Class Pass, which do you know about Class
That's what
Pass?
I was wondering, like what Jamil has, and because I know he's really good at that. And if you could like join it, and I don't know.
I don't think I could join it. I think I just have to get my own and like you decide which tier you want based off like how many points you want because each class is a certain amount of points. So how much you're going to
And
use
is
for
it like not global, but like it's everywhere or just
I
California?
think so. I think it is. And a lot of like you can do everything on ClassPass. You can do like so many fitness places or like class places are
I'm gonna look
with
at it.
ClassPass. So you can like if their class is like,
Oh,
25 a class, then you can just do it through ClassPass. But
so where we live, I think there is some, but there are a
Mhm.
lot in like one of the fanciest places in Indiana. It's
Mhm.
very flossy, is Carmel. And
Mhm.
it's there a lot in there, which isn't
Yeah.
that far, but
Yeah. So I think about that sometimes. So maybe I'll try ClassPass. I think you get like
it's kind
something
of
like
nice because you're not like signed up for like if I'm correct. I mean, I don't even know how to use it, but I'd imagine you can like drop like do like, oh, I'm gonna do this on Monday, but you don't have to like every week.
yeah.
Like, oh, I have to go on Monday at 6 o'clock. I have to be there. I
Yeah.
paid for
You
it,
can
every
choose like whichever class, whichever time, whenever. If you don't, I think like some of your points will roll over, but I think you'll lose some of your points. So I think there is like a push to try to use them and like get out there and do it, which is good because it kind of motivates you. And then like if you miss the class, I think you just like lose the points. I think you can
oh,
cancel and get them back if it's like ahead of time.
but
Um,
once the class starts, you're done.
yeah. So we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath for the
Yeah.
workout thing.
You don't
Whatever.
even need to.
So wait, so is our hot topic question, are you for New Year's resolution
Yes.
or not? Okay, let us know. What do you
Let us
think the verdict
know.
is going to be?
I think that people are going to say yes.
Me too.
But
So do.
I don't know.
No,
I
I
mean,
thought
we're
that,
not telling you not to say set goals. We want you to do that. Just saying
yeah,
you don't have to be like, new year, new me. I'm getting rid of everything I own and I'm doing this. Like, no, it
Yeah,
doesn't
you
need
don't
to
have
be
to
that.
wait for the new year. Just do it.
Just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
We
A-
believe in.
Amen, sister. All
Well, I
right.
think we've rambled enough this week.
I know. It was
Happy
such a long
Monday.
podcast. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
But we will see you guys next week. Hope everybody's Christmas is
Happy
good.
New Year
And yeah, Happy New Year. And we will see you
in
next year.
2025.
Bye.
Bye, dollies.